Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Going back to the World Cup today. In this video, I want to talk about the most important matches in each group game. I made a video a few weeks ago about the most exciting matches, potentially. I want to give you one game from each group that I think is going to be crucial in determining who advances to the round of 16. So in Group A with Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay. Now, all games in the World Cup are important. The games that are the most important on paper don't always necessarily translate to the most important on the pitch, but we don't know what's going to happen on the pitch. You can only go by paper for now. In Group A, the most important one, is Russia versus Egypt, because it will most likely, it should play the most pivotal role in determining who finishes in a top 2 spot. Now, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt are not teams that, in my opinion, none of those 3 teams are in the top 16 teams in this World Cup, but one of them has to go to the round of 16, most likely along with Uruguay. And on paper, sorry, my dog was barking. It's Russia and Egypt that's going to determine, most likely, comes in second, but don't sleep on Saudi Arabia. Whoever wins that match is in the strongest position to get to the next round. In Group B, the most important match is Morocco versus Iran. Why? Because if any of those 2 teams want to have a prayer of advancing, they have to defeat each other. One of them must get the full 3 points in their opening match. And it's the first match. I think it's going to be electric because they have to go all out and get the 3 points. You get 3 points against each other, and then maybe you get a draw somewhere against either Portugal or Spain. You can advance with 4 points. You can advance depending on how other results turn out. So Morocco and Iran have to do something. In Group C, the most important game is Peru versus Denmark. And for a similar reason to the Russia-Egypt game, Peru and Denmark are the second and third best teams in this group, in my opinion, respectively. And France should come through in first. So it's likely going to come down to Peru and Denmark. That first match is going to play, I think, the biggest role in who advances. And it's going to be the same thing where France's group was in the last World Cup in 2014, where the opening match between Switzerland and Ecuador proved to be pretty fatal for Ecuador and pretty decisive for the Swiss. That late goal on that gave the Swiss the winner. That was a good game. And then from then on, that point, Switzerland were in the driver's seat. They had 3 points against Ecuador with a game to spare against Honduras. Whoever gets the win here is going to have 3 points with a game to spare against Australia. I do think Australia is better than Honduras, but whoever wins that match between Peru and Denmark absolutely should finish in at least a top 2 position. Group D, the group of death, in my opinion. They who must not be named, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. Now, this is hard. It's hard to narrow down. I'm tempted to go with every game in this group that does not include they who must not be named. So, in other words, every game in this group that includes Croatia, Nigeria, and Iceland, because the battle for a top 2 spot is going to be really tight, in my opinion. And these 3 teams are very close to each other overall in quality as a team, in my opinion. But I don't want to cheat. I have to go with one match. So the most important one in this group, I think, is Nigeria versus Croatia. Probably. Because I think the winner of that game will finish it on top of the group. I think the winner of this match will finish on top of the group. I'm being serious. This is not about jokes. Group E. Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. Again, with this group, tempted to pull a Group D. It's basically the battle for second between the Swiss, the Serbs, and the Costa Ricans. But I can only pick one match that's the most important. And I would say the most important one is, I think, probably the Costa Rica-Serbia game is the most important. Because they start off against each other. Meanwhile, Switzerland start off with Brazil. I mean, you would expect Brazil to get the 3 points there. And Switzerland probably know they're going to lose that game. So Serbia, Costa Rica, they have to get off on the right footing, because then Brazil looms on the horizon for both of them eventually. So that's the first match against each other. So yeah, I'm going to go with Serbia against Costa Rica, or Costa Rica against Serbia. In Group F, it's pretty simple. It's Mexico versus Sweden. I don't think South Korea is good enough to come through. I think that this is one of the worst South Korean, save for a few players, it's the worst South Korean team I've seen in a very long time. It's going to be between Mexico and Sweden for second, and that's going to be the last game in the group against each other. And I predict whoever has the advantage heading into that match, let's say Mexico only needs a draw while Sweden has to win, whoever has the advantage heading into that match, I think, will progress. Because I do think that match will be a draw. So if Sweden has the advantage, Sweden is going through. And vice versa, like I just said. Vice versa. So Mexico-Sweden is the most important in Group F. Because let's be honest, Germany should top this group with at least 7 points. Group G. It's not the most flashy of games, but you have to think that if Tunisia or Panama is going to do something in this group, it's a similar situation to Iran versus Morocco. One of them has to beat the other. Now, in this case, I don't think it's as evenly matched as that Group B game, because I think Tunisia is miles ahead of Panama. I do. And it's great for Tunisia that they're playing Panama last. So if they can nick off a draw at some point in their first 2 games, like I said, 4 points. 4 points is that purgatory. 4 points leaves you in limbo. 4 points either makes you or breaks you, depending on other results in your group. A lot of teams go through, a lot of teams don't with 4 points. It's the middle ground. And if Tunisia can beat Panama, they're in the conversation to go through. So the most important one, even if it's not the most exciting one, the most important game in Group G is Panama versus Tunisia. And then in Group H, this was also very hard to narrow down. Group H is Colombia, Senegal, Poland, Senegal, Colombia, Japan. Well, the most important match in this group, in my opinion, is Senegal versus Japan. Because the two of them are not favored to come through. And most likely will have to get the 3 points against each other. Because look, Poland versus Colombia is going to be exciting. You can make a case that's very important because The winner of that will likely finish on top of the group. Poland-Senegal could be interesting because Senegal could pull another France 2002 on Poland. They're certainly capable. Colombia-Japan is that rematch from 2014. Maybe this whole revenge element for the Japanese going on. But it's Senegal-Japan. That's the most important one. And I actually think that's in my top 5 group stage games. As you saw in my video a few weeks ago, that is best candidate for the most exciting match. The Senegal versus Japan game. That's my top 5 candidates for what could be a blockbuster game, a high-scoring game. So, leave a comment below, like, subscribe. What are the most important games in each group? Not the ones you're looking forward to the most. The most important ones, though I understand sometimes most important and most exciting, sometimes they overlap. So, I'll see you later today, maybe, hopefully, God willing. Till then, have a good one, much love, and peace out.